Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to an American Truck Simulator video here. I am FTG Full Tilt Gaming, and welcome to everything you need to know about the 1.32 update here for ATS. We're going to go through everything from trailer ownership to what kind of trailers you're going to have, what kind of problems you can expect to have right off the bat. This is day one of the update, so expect some things to get fixed and finished, and there will be some things that we're already running into that I'm sure probably we're not meant to be there. But they will get ironed out. We're not going to spend a lot of time. We're not going to harp on the small issues because this is a beta. We're going to teach you how to get into the beta with Steam. That'll be first off, and then we're going to actually go through and run through the litany of things, look at the map, look at new roads, look at new areas, look at some new things here that SCS has brought to us, and some things that they have fixed. And also we're going to spend our time looking through some of the trailers. We'll customize a couple, and then we'll save our loads while you drive on some of the new roads there. We'll do that in a separate video. Basically, we're going to give you a great overview of everything you need to know about the ATS 1.32 update. So stay with us here, 15 seconds, we'll be back with you. Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? Here we are back here, ATS update 1.32. Let me show you everything you need to know here. So we're going to go ahead and let's open up. We're going to look at Steam. So once you pull up Steam here, you'll be able to see a lot of your stuff here. Once we go back to games, you'll see that we've already got it running now. It's going to be just a little bit different, but I'm going to show you, and give you an idea what the windows are going to look like here. So you want to go down to right-click on ATS, go down to Properties, click over on Betas, and there's drop-down menu. Mine's not going to drop down because we've already opted into the 1.32 public beta, but this is what you're going to select. So after you select that, go ahead and close this window out. It will say Update Queued. You can force that by right-clicking, and down at the end when it says Update Queued, you'll have Manage Downloads. Hit the Manage Downloads. And once it does, it will ask you, they'll see a little arrow that'll be on the right side of the screen over here. Click that arrow, it'll immediately start downloading, or you can give it a couple of minutes and it will start downloading itself. Just make sure you're not playing any other games or any of that stuff with it. So other than that, that's pretty much all of that one. It's pretty easy peasy to get in this as well. So let me let's go ahead. I'm going to start up our profile here. Now I would say this, make sure you maybe stay outside of your normal profile that has all your mods in it. So maybe use your multiplayer profile just to kind of test some things out. Then that way you can trash some things, trash what you buy, trash the trailers that you buy, trash the trucks that you buy, or anything that you customize outside of it, and then revert back to 1.31. That's the most important part, especially if you're going to go test and then come back and check and then drive on the profile. If you do add anything, you buy trailers, you buy everything, make sure you sell every bit of that so there's no trace of things that should be loading up on your new 1.31 update after you revert back. So if you have questions with that, please leave me a comment there in the comments. Oh, and before we get started, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I always forget it every single time. I get so wrapped up in getting into this. So if you watch my ETS 1.32, this is basically a repackage of that. As you can see, we've actually got a custom truck in here because I wanted to see what kind of mods worked. There are some mods that do work. There are some mods that don't. Typically what I found is some of your graphics mods will work okay. At least I've got one in here, Film IC, without the bloom, and it works fine. I've noticed there are some wheel mods that don't work, some interior mods that don't work. A lot of my trucks do not work, and a lot of the trailers will not work. I don't know. Some of them will work, some of them won't. You'll just have to kind of test. My feelings, though, if you're going to stay in 1.32, go ahead and do that kind of stuff and then kind of bring them up one by one until you make sure that everything's loading in. And also physics mods, for me, were a big crash. So we're just really messing things up. The trucks weren't behaving correctly. So just stay away from those things. Allow the default stuff to take in. Put you some trucks. As you can see, I've got a wheel pack in here. I've got trucks in here. This is actually the dump truck. Actually now has a has custom all stuff. So we got a day cabs and arrows, the aero cab, and then the half cab. So I mean, sleeper cab. It's pretty cool. I was like, yeah, why not? We'll just roll with this one. So anyway, let's look and see what you got. The first thing is world map. So we're going to go through a few new things here on the map of what we've got. Now, one of these things is you've got a couple of different roads. Clifton has been added. That also adds in this highway 191 here from San Simon all the way up to the east of Sholo. Now, there's a couple of other areas. Yuma up to the 95 right here is brand new. And I want to say there is the 101 over here has been extended a little bit as well. So they've done some work there, and also they said something about they've extended Hornbrook up to go a little bit further north. So you can see right now we'd have Hornbrook and then this road coming off of Winnemucca on the 95. So you can kind of see we might have some things coming into where these might be windows into the new DLC for Oregon. So maybe we're making some space for this. They've got the 101 way over here, which maybe something pops off of Eureka here, comes off the 101 and extends up here. I don't know. I would imagine that coastal road goes all the way up there. Anyway, I can also tell that a lot of areas have been touched, like Sacramento, because you can see where we normally would have all of this would be yellowed out because we've ridden all these roads. It should be. So they've been touched in here as well, and there's been some things that they've kind of made some improvements on. So there's also a new company. So I'm just going to read this right off here as well. I'm going to see if I can pull. Yeah, I could probably pull this over. Let's just do this. How about this? So on their blog here, they have got some new stuff here where they, let me find the mine because that's what I wanted to show you guys. Here we go. So when driving off the 191 newly added area Clifton, they've got the Morenci mine, which is the biggest copper mine in the United States. So you'll be able to visit this place. Now this, if you're wondering where that is all the way back over here. Clifton, right there. Now, also there's another road that leads right out of Albuquerque. You can see we've gotten some little changes up in here. So out of Albuquerque, this road right here, the 550, that one has also been added in towards Farmington. So you can see we've got some additions in here. Here's that 191 add-on as well. Most of this you had to go up to Gallup and then go over to Farmington and then cut over. Now you've actually got some roads that are connecting some of these places together. So I don't know. I kind of like when they do add in the new map data. That's kind of nice. So that's the big map changes with this update. Now let me go ahead and let me go ahead and get the browser capture off. That way we're back into the game. There we go. So let's go ahead and look at some other things. So now we've got truck dealers. We've also got trailer dealers, just like ETS now. So we can customize our own stuff. So if you have not looked at this and you're saying, well, I was going to wait on FTG to do a video. Thank you. Appreciate that. So let's look at it here. Trailer dealers. Now, don't be alarmed and say, oh, man, all they got's the short drive van, all they got's the sliding tarp, yada, 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 yada. So they've got doubles for everything, insulated triples. Now, the way the game is going to work, unless you have a mod that allows you to trailer these things over the places, you're also going to have other restrictions on your 53-foot trailers. You're not going to be allowed in California. From the bin up to the axles at 40 feet, then you can't trailer it. So if you wanted to really do the 53-foot refrigerator, the insulated, the doubles, anything like that, you're not going to be able to pick those jobs up in California. You'll have to do those inside of Arizona, New Mexico, or Nevada. I know, right? So anyway, I tell you what, let's just look at a few options. Now, there is one thing in here that you ought to understand. There is something going on here with the way that the cameras is not allowing me to go all the way around. It goes around, and then the more I do, it basically just circles like this right in front of the trailer, which is annoying, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. So once you do this, you've got all kind of options here. You can do singles, you can do the doubles, which is the double. I think these are 20-foot flatbeds. And then you could do the Rocky Mountain doubles, which I think extended up to 40-something foot. Then the triples are just the 320s put together. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back to the doubles. Let's say the Rocky Mountain doubles. So you can make this a pup trailer, or you can actually make it a true double, which basically means there is no pivot in the front. So that dolly will just spin on a hitch that's on the rear axles, which is pretty cool. Now there's also some custom colors. You could do the flatbeds in any custom color. You can also do the flatbed aluminums, or you can make it a curtain sider, which basically just has a frame that's going up, and you can slide these curtains all the way across, and they run on ridges and sliders, and they just run all the way down, and they lock, snap into place. And then you can custom color most of all this stuff. You can actually do a few accessories. Now this is where it gets aggravating. Because I do not know why this is not a part of the beta. Like, why can we not cycle around our stuff? But the bad thing is this also is incorporated in the trucks. So whatever mechanism inside the engine creates how the camera moves around, it does not work right now. So this is a beta. So just understand that going in, if you want to do a truck, or you want to upgrade a truck, you want to do something, it's not going to do it here, okay? It's really not going to, it's going to be hard. And I've already tried, trust me, and it's aggravating because you can't get around. So you got a couple different versions here. You can also add into all these support frames, toolboxes, aluminum boxes, chrome boxes. Unfortunately, it's really hard to see this stuff because it's really on the far side of your view. So that's what I mean. Even if the 389 works from Viper, Even if you're doing that and trying to go around to the other side of to do wheels, to do inserts on the wheels, to do mud flaps, if you wanted to see the chrome tanks on the side, any of those dots that show up on the side as you kind of rotate around a vehicle, you cannot do that now. So even the trucks are like way off in the distance, and you really just kind of cycle in front of the truck like this, and it's absolutely just... it'll drive you mad. So that's flatbeds. So we'll look at one of the other ones, because basically you can do flatbeds and curtain siders. So we'll leave the sliding tarp, doubles, and all this stuff the same. Just looking at this really quick, see it's the same thing, sliding tarp. But now you do have the option of pulling these in your doubles. So see, it's just the same things. Triples, Rocky Mountain doubles, the true 20-foot doubles, and then just the regular single, the small pup, honestly. So let's go ahead. Now that's flatbeds and tarps. Let's look at your dry vans, your reefer trailers. Those are pretty cool. Now, I'm always a fan of the reefers. I like those. I like them on ETS as well. So a little bit... quality is way less than ETS, and it bugs me. Bugs me a lot, because there's so much availability for me. I think to look at this and compare it to ETS, quality is so much less. And I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not scared to say it. It just is. And I know that upsets me, because I'm like, why is there not enough attention put in this from a graphics perspective versus what ETS does? And I don't want to just sit here and rip on them the whole video, but you'll tell on the textures, just the shininess of the trailers, the beauty of them. The textures look very small. They look almost blurry and almost kind of fake. Like even this grill here should be a kind of chromed look, and it just looks very bland. All these edges should be chromed, and maybe in the game they'll look a little bit brighter, but it's completely dependent upon your graphic settings and what you're looking at. So aside from all of that, just random outside stuff, so aside from that, you've got all of the other stuff. You got nice coolers on here. You can customize those, even though they're hard to get around. But you've got the Rocky Mountain doubles, you got regular doubles, triples, and the single. Now, here's the cool thing about this. So if you want to do the ripper, you're like, well, I don't want a 28-foot single. Now you've got all these cool customizations about this thing that you can actually run. So you want to run, you see you've got the tag axle with the steer axle. So actually the back one there, you've got the front tag that'll drop down, and then you've got a steer axle in the back that comes down, which is pretty slick. And you've got 53-foot 4 axles. So if you want to run the front axles toward the front, that'll put your stability a little bit different. You've also got the spread axle, and unfortunately you can't swing this thing to the side so you can kind of see it. That's the buggy part about this. I don't know why, but it is what it is. 48 footers, 48 and 45 footers, fronts, all this. So here's the thing. So between the axle and the pin, it's got to be 40 foot, and it's legal to go in California. I believe that's what I read. I almost want to make sure, because I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. And I think they talk about this at the very end. Here it is. So for the long trailers, 53 foot, 40 plus feet from the kingpin to the rear axle are now forbidden in California. So that's a new rule and a new change. So bringing trailer cables on all AI trucks, and on one new restriction, long trailers 53 foot to 40 foot, 40 plus foot from the kingpin to the rear axle. So that kingpin would be wherever it fits into the trailer. If that measurement to the rear axle is 40 plus feet, then it will be forbidden in California. Now, as to whether or not, I do think that's going to still apply to the single trailers, because that'll be the very far rear axle. So if you're doing the rear axle, whether or not you're doing doubles, triples, it's going to be to the far axle that's on the outside. So yeah, aside from that, you're just going to have to get used to that. It's going to be a little different. So aside from that, these are the different stuff you can. Now, you can also do insulated dry vans if you wanted to do any of this. Now, I would say the dry van side on here looks pretty cool. I just always get frustrated that this chrome appears very faded out, kind of gray, dull, you know, whatever. But it's still got the same axles, still chassis. So each trailer can have its own chassis, and you can do different forms of all of this stuff. So let's just say you want to do an insulated, then you want to make that a Rocky Mountain double. Well, there you go. You can also make that just a regular pup. You've got the double pup there. Now let's look at some stuff. They do bring in some new trailer skins, which is pretty cool. So we can look at these. They've got a few, and they're a little bit cheesy. The thing that I was kind of a little bit frustrated about is getting these all in. Some of these have just enormous amounts of color, but all of these do fit. So there's quite a bit of actual colors. So if you've got a company color, if you've got a channel, a YouTube channel, and you've got specific colors like me, certainly could make this look, you know, FTG-esque. with just a few points and clicks here. We'll maybe put a, what do we put down there? Just maybe put a red. Yeah, so you really can't see down the side unless you lean out, but there you go. And yeah, that's about his best. I don't understand that. That makes me so mad. So there you go. That's the basic idea. So you've got some nice designs that you can pull at your disposal, and these fit on everything: curtain siders, the dry vans, the insulated, the reefers, box van, any of the trailers. All these apply. So there are a couple of pretty cool ones in here that are pretty generic, but they're definitely not as pretty as the ETS stuff, and they're definitely not as generically used with multiple trucks. I mean, they kind of got to have that same one. So anyway, that's trailers in a nutshell. So the only other thing here that I really wanted to spend some time and look at was show you how the ownership works. Now, the ownership itself works just like you have on the truck manager. And we can even look here. Let's look at truck dealers because I want to see if they've added this in. Let's say we want to buy this. Let's say we want to do, here's the stock 389. Just want to look at a customization here. I want to look and see what they've done. Here's what the trucks do. So you see what I mean? You can't actually spin the truck around to the backside. It just cycles right in front of it like the trailers do, and you can't get to the back. So you're just going to have to deal with what you have as a truck, or just deal with customizing the front end. So everybody's like, dang it. Here's the bad part. You know, there are very few things that drive me nuts. One of the things that drive me nuts is having a front end of a cab that does not match your trailer. I don't know why. I just feel so much more complete. Like, I cannot tow a Walmart trailer unless I have a Walmart skin. Like, there's something about the mismatch that drives me nuts. And it still drives me nuts when I see a guy on just like a standard black, you know, owner-operator Peterbilt, you know, 579, just driving with a Walmart trailer. I'm like, no, you need to have a Walmart front end. Anyway, that's me. None of these skins on the trucks match the trailers. That to me that's a big deal. Some people it wouldn't. You've got the divided colors, but the problem is you don't really have a divided paint that matches from the cab and continues on. ETS has got a whole new slew of skins that go on the trucks as well that go on the trailers, and they all match. Case in point, there is nothing that matches on the regular cabs that applies to the insulated dry vans, reefers, all that stuff. So you're really going to have two different designs going on, one on the trailer and one on the truck, because they're not going to go together until people start doing skins that effectively change the whole entire structure of how all that operates. So that's the other one. So let's go ahead. Let's buzz out of here. Let's get out of the truck dealership. So besides the map, we've gone over that. We've gone over the new stop there, new business in Clifton, which is in between. What was south? Was it? I can't even remember. I want to say it was south of Tucson. But anyway, so you got that new highway with the new stop in there with the copper mine, which is pretty cool. And then you've got this. Now, this basically is the same setup from ETS, so a lot of UI changes on this. The trucks look a whole lot different, the way they're all nestled in there with that gray opaque background. You still got the same stuff, but the things have been shifted around. So each grouping gives you a better user interface enhanced here. So you got jobs, world, radio, email, and photo studio, kind of all your generic UI items. Your vehicle browsers, save and load options, profiles, all this stuff really should be together. This is like where your about section and all that is about trailers and truck. And, you know, you can kind of look ahead, especially if you're playing the game legit. You don't really know all this stuff. And the other one is progress history, skills. Now you can see all of this stuff is devoted to your company. You got truck upgrades, trailer upgrades, which basically just tell you whenever you have assumed the proper level to be able to unlock all this stuff. Because if you are doing this legit, some of this stuff may be available, some of it may not. And the other one is truck dealers, trailer dealers. You know, all of this stuff is all in one good item. And then everything down here, you can see our little trailer. We just called this FT Gaming as World of Trucks. That was my Truckers MP. And then there's our money, all our driver counts, trailer counts, all that good stuff. So you still got your truck manager like you've always had. So you can see all the trucks that I've got. Some of these are stuff that I've had for some of these are stuff that I had for Truckers MP, because this is that profile. And it's good because when I revert back to 1.31, I can sell all of this stuff, and then I can just run back over and just drop all the mods out and be right back in 1.31, and it's not a big deal. So here's the things that I do have. And we can actually configure most of these because we haven't assumed and picked any of this up. So we've got a couple of, we got an easy flatbed there. We got a Rocky Mountain flatbed double. We've got the flatbed triple in a beautiful red. I figured people would like that one, so we take a peek at that. So it's got a nice aluminum guard in the front here. Now you can add those aluminum guards. You can add boxes on the insides, which all three of these match. And then also just went ahead and got like a refrigerated double that's got a black bottom and then a red top on here. So there you go. It's got the Turbo King coolers on the front, which I just thought, well, you know, if you're going to go and have dual colors, you might as well have flat black and white matches the black. And we do have the aero guards down here for aerodynamics. So it's pretty cool. So we've got a few different things going on here. But this is basically gives you an idea from what your trebles, Rocky Mountains, you can triples. You know, we saw the combinations are really kind of endless. Now here's the cool part. Now this is what we kind of covered in ETS between that one. Now all these have trailer utilizations that you can keep track of how much your trailers are being used, and also your drivers inside. If you're actually doing an economy inside of the game or the sim, I should say, you can actually have multiple carriers doing different things. So if you are hiring drivers out of certain cities, they will use the trailers that we already own as your own little mini company. They will take those trailers and they will take them out and do different things with them. So they will take them, go get cargo, go park, and then you can request to park those, or you can make trailers private, which means your drivers will not go pick up those particular items. So if I was to make the refrigerated double, make it private, and I was able to park that in a garage, it would stay in that garage until I did anything with it. Now most people, that's probably what they would do. But if they do have some drivers and you are creating your own kind of ATS economy inside of it, then you can actually have this thing open and free for your other drivers to be able to use as they're pulling in and out of those different areas. So they pull a freight market, your actual truck driver will go use that trailer, go do a cargo load, and then pull it back, and you request it and relocate it back to the garage, and then you can use it, as you can see here in your bottom. Usage, make private, configure, all this other good stuff. It's kind of secondary to the garage and the truck manager. So that's the way it works. And let's say, actually, you know what? I want to make sure I do one more thing here. So let's just say you did this. You can relocate this to any garage. So any garage that you own, you can relocate it to there. When you do, if it's a garage that you're at, when you relocate, just where you have to go. So let's go to our truck manager. I am going to relocate this truck up here to the Reno. Now, hopefully we won't run into a game crash, but I will tell you it's completely possible because I used to run into this problem a lot. All right, so wait a minute. Let's drive it. Let's see what happens. We're probably not going to be in Reno, but fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. I'll show you how the trailers are delivered. If you haven't seen this, I hope you haven't. Come on, baby. Just. All right, sweet. All right, let's see where we're at. Because I got a feeling here we are not in Kansas anymore. All right, so this looks like Phoenix. Yep. Man. There we go. Look at all that. Look at it failed to open all this stuff in here. Yeah, it used to actually be really good. Now it's... All right, so we're going to travel up to Reno, see if everything loads in, if it works here. All right, so there's Reno, and it looks like our truck dealer is right over here. At we got, maybe that's new. Maybe some of this stuff actually looks new. I swear some of that looks new. Actually, whatever that is, it looks good. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get down to, here we go. So here is, oh, that's our truck dealer in our garage. Oh shoot, let me find our house. Oh, there it is. Straight down this road. Always get lost on that mess. All right, one more. Okay, there we go. Woo. All right. So here is where this guy, we're gonna put this truck outside of here. All right, so there's him. So we're good there. So now let's go ahead and let's open up our trailer manager. And I use the developer tools to do that. It's not a walk mod or a run mod or nothing crazy. So let's just look at the refrigerated doubles. How do you know what? Flatbed triples. You guys are going to see the flatbed triples. So let's go ahead and let's use this. So we use it. It will, yes, and it should spawn it right outside of Reno, because that's where it's at. Garage in Reno, so it should. Here's the crash part. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Yeah? Okay, good, we're good there. Oh, look at there. It even put us up. So there we go, look at there. So now there is our triple flatbeds here with our T800s, Kenworth 800 actually. This is the dump truck mod. So if you didn't download the dump truck because you thought, well, I don't just want to drive a dump truck, it's kind of freaking sweet. Day cab, air cab, yeah. All right, so let's just hop in the middle here. Turn some of that stuff off. There we go. So now you see how that is. You pick it up now. From this point, you would open up your map and you would go to cargo map, and then you would click on Reno here or wherever you wanted to go pick up. So there are currently no flatbed cargoes available. So right now the only cargo for triple trailers is an Elko. So see how this works. Depending now, if I had a single flatbed or a double flatbed, I would have slews of jobs, because you got to remember, if you're not running mods, the triple trailers only work in Nevada. So if you think that you're going to go down to San Diego and pick up triple trailers and then take them all the way out to Arizona somewhere, it ain't going to happen. Not unless you actually have a doubles or triples mod inside of ATS at that point. So just keep in track. That's why I wanted to show this. Now, if we decide to go ahead and cancel this, return this back to the garage and pick up a reefer double or pick up a small double trailer or even just a single reefer, then we'll have jobs all over the place that we can take. So you're going to be really hard pressed. Even at this one, if you get down in Prim, it might be that only a few of these or one of these at one point in time is going to have the large tubes and pipes over at Elko. So when you pull in, you'll pull in, park your vehicle just like you normally would. You'll load in cargo, and then this comes up. But I'll tell you this, what we're going to do is I'm going to do another video, either maybe sometime tonight. I'll get it up ready to go tomorrow morning or something, and I'll have you guys, we'll take a couple of road trips and maybe do that on live stream tonight. So if you're seeing this tonight around supper time, then come back here later tonight. We're going to drive through some of these roads. So we'll haul some roads, we'll haul some cargo on those roads. We'll change up trailers as much as we can, and I'll try to feature as much of the new updates here with 1.32 as I possibly can. So make sure, if you haven't, make sure you're coming back tonight here for that as well. So anyway, that's gonna be it for 1.32 update here. This just gets you up to speed, shows you what's in the update, shows you the big things, especially with the map change and also the cargo change, and also just kind of gives you an idea of what kind of mods you can expect to run with this, whether you're looking at graphics mods or particular trucks. It will tell you which ones are absolutely incompatible at the time. Why those trucks are incompatible, I got no idea. Only thing I can think of is that's got something to do with trailer cables, whether or not they show up in the AI space, whether or not something's been done or something's been messed up or there's something's been changed. Not exactly sure, but just realize that 1.32 is going to be a little bit slow because there is a lot of economy and a lot of game changers to this that just are not necessarily in part of what we normally have with ATS. Maybe you don't drive with some of this, maybe you don't care, but it's just something that's going to have to be done, and the mods are going to have to catch up with it. So a lot of the things that we featured here on the channel, if you're going to stay in 1.32, a lot of them are probably not going to work. Your trailers are going to be iffy at best, especially big trailer packs are going to be iffy. Even if they're just doing on freight market alone, just because of the new additions to the trailer and the economy mods and with the ownable trailers here. So there's going to be some changes. So just be expecting, just be ready for those, because they're going to happen. But anyway, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and join us tonight in live stream. We'll be looking at more ATS 1.32, hopefully with this truck and some of these new trailers. And any requests you got, come and bring them. Other than that, we'll look at some new roads and all that other good stuff. So that's it for me, it for the video. We'll see you here on the next one, guys. We'll see you. Peace.